Stop before you move your dragger to some other time frame. I know you are a very busy person. Your every second is worth billion of dollars, but this video is very important from the perspective of cracking code beta. I'll try to keep this video as precise as possible because I don't want to waste your time, but don't skip out of any part because each of those part is very important. Okay, I'll give you an index of what we'll be talking about. Firstly, I'll give you a few tips. After that, we'll be discussing what the questions that come in code beta. We'll discuss what kind they are, and I'll tell you what to learn. After that, since every student is different, some are weak, some are strong, I'll give you tips on the basis of which kind you are, and it's your responsibility, it's your duty to judge who you are. Okay, because introspection is the best. Now, the first thing that I want to tell you is that it's not a hard-coded fact, but we have observed that if you are able to solve even a single question in code beta, then you have more than 80% of chances to qualify the first round. Okay, this is very important. So this should be the aim of every student out there, to solve at least a single question. Okay, solve a question. That is our going that is going to be our aim for this code beta. Okay, now I want to tell you that code beta follows certain patterns, right? Code beta always give you six questions, but those six questions, they are always of certain types. The questions that they are asked, questions, what type they are. Okay, so basically I can assure you that the first question, in most of the cases, the first question, it is the most lengthiest one. All right, the most lengthiest one is the first question. Why? Because they want to scare you, they want to show you that this is the whole page of question, and let's see if you can even read it or not. But don't be scared because it is the easiest one. And one more thing, before you try to solve this question, the first question, keep this in mind that the complexity will always be less than order n. Complexity is mostly order n. Why? Because this is the first question, they just want to test you out, they just want to test your reading skills. All right, this question will most likely be based on your implementation skills, so don't be afraid. Don't try to complicate this question yourself. Keep it simple, keep it sober. All right, the questions that they have actually asked in mock beta, like uh, I don't remember the fill a line coin, right? Fill a line coin, and the one that you came just this mock beta to something with marriage. I don't remember it, but those are pretty decent question, pretty easy question. And if you just read the question carefully, you can solve it. And let me tell you that most of the things that they given that question is rubbish. They're just trying to form a storyline. So try to think that you are reading a novel and mark out the key points. Okay, always underline the key points. That's really important. Now, what other kinds of question can come? As we have observed that one question might come on probability. So please study probability. I'll tell you a little bit later that what kind of question you should practice on probability. Don't worry, you don't need to go till the very depth. It's just the upper layer you need to study. Okay, and one question. This is very important thing. This is the basically the root of code beta. It one question will based or will be sorry one question will be based on multiple concepts. Okay, multiple concepts like they'll test your prime number skills, your Fibonacci number skills, your designing skills, all of them in one. Like you suppose they might even ask you to print a pattern, and that pattern, basically each line of that pattern is some other form of series. So the question, basically the concept that it comprises of, they are very easy on individual basis, but they are trying to just combine it to check out that can you actually aggregate them or not. Okay, and other question, one question might be on range search. Range search, like you have to find a particular element from this from some given range, but keep in mind that that question will always focus on not getting time limit exceeded. You must focus on minimizing the complexity. Okay, so one question on, I'm telling you that these are the highest probability question that can come. So before you start practicing other question, keep them in mind and do practice them. Okay, then one question, well, this is a little bit less, chances are a little low, but one question might come on, you know, might, sorry, condon, might come on DP or recursion. Chances of recursion is high, but maybe, just, might be, they ask a question on you on DP. Okay. Well, it's very highly unlikely for the first round, but who knows? It's on their mood. Okay. And one question might also be on, you can also practice one question on, this is very important, but array manipulation. The first question or the second question, it can be on these topics. One question on ma array manipulation or array indexing, right? Or string in cases, string manipulation basically, but not on very hard terms, right? So questions can be of this type. Do practice these type of questions. All right. Now, basically, I'm going to tell you now what can they ask you in questions, right? What can they ask you? So basically, the type of questions, it can be, they're mostly the code beta question are on implementation basis, right? So keep in mind that you have to practice a few implementation basis question. Implementation. Okay. Implementation based questions, they are very highly likely to come. So do practice them. It's very easy. You can actually go to any online platform like HackerRank or CodeChef, and you can just search implementation basis question, and just start from the easy level, because easy level is really it will help you uh, you know to make your roots stronger, right? And also prime numbers based question, they'll prime numbers, they can come prime number based, right? Prime number is very important factor for any from the viewpoint of a competitive coding exam. Okay. And also, since it's code beta, combined single concepts, as I said before, they can the you have actually solved many questions, like you know how to make a Fibonacci series, you know how to make Tower of Hanoi, you know how to make prime number, you know how to print a pattern. But what if they combine all of those things? Okay, that is where they're going to test. So whenever you encounter a question like this, combined single concepts, I hope you remember that there was a question like prime Fibonacci, right? It was like that, the question that we did in mock with a two digit pair. Those questions are very simple, or they if I break them and then I solve it, they are even easier than the first one. Okay. So just keep this in mind and don't get intimidated, which is going to be our next topic. Okay. And also string and array manipulation. So I the first three question can easily come from these type, string and array manipulation, and the other might be from range search, DP, recursion. But these are the type of question that we think, which might come, but these are the type of questions which are bound to come, because that has been the pattern of code beta for way too long. Okay. Now we are going to discuss what to learn. Many students have asked me that, we are beginners, what should we try to study? So I'll tell you that it's very simple. Firstly, learn different data structures. Don't go into depth. You don't need to know exactly how it works. Suppose you want to learn linked list, you don't need to go till C to learn that, okay, this is a pointer, so here it stores this data node, and then you can do this. If you want to delete a node, you need to check single linked list, and then you remove this node. No, don't go to all that crap. Okay. You just need to know different data structure, what are their properties, what benefit you can get by using them. Okay. Suppose I'll give you a slight example. Suppose you want to count, a frequency of, you have an array of numbers, right? And you want to count frequency of elements. So what will you do? Most of you will, try to iterate through the whole loop again and again, checking what kind of value you have. If you have one, since it's digits, you might even iterate it 9 times the whole, and check if one is there, two is there, whatever. But what is the best way possible? Just use a map. Okay, check if one is present, then increment it by one. Check if two is present, increment it by one. Suppose you want to, you might even ask a question to remove all the repeated elements. What to do? Again, you'll iterate, check if it exists or not. You might sort it, whatever it is. The people mostly do this, they sort it and then they try to iterate through it and check if the neighbor is same or not. That's what you do, right? Mostly don't do it. What you can do, simply use set. Now if you know set, you don't have to do much thing. Whatever is the language, you just have to put all the values in set, because set follows the property of red black tree. They don't have any repeated elements, they only have unique elements. So that is the benefit of knowledge. If you have it, your questions will become very easy for you. Now don't study all the data structures, I'll mention a few. Study them. Okay, first and foremost, hash tables. Hash tables are really important if you want to reduce your time complexity. I hope you have studied about time space trade-off. If you want to increase your time, sorry, if you want to decrease your time, then you have to manage it by increasing your space. Okay, so that is the sort of concept that hash table follows. Hash table is basically A hash table basically follows key value pair. You store a key and then you get a value. Okay, look into hash table, this is really important. And hash table, I think it's in different languages with different name. In Python you can use dictionary for this. In C++ you can use unordered and ordered. I hope anyone who uses C++ knows what STL is, right? STL is very important, please study it. Okay, so that will be hash table. In Java I think it's hash map, I don't remember exactly. Okay, so hash table is really important, look into it in your own language. By the way, use language which you prefer, in which you are comfortable, because either you use, mostly people use C++, Java and Python. All of their concepts are simple, but try to code in one language, in a language in which you are comfortable, in which you know if I even slap you and wake you up at night and ask you to write a code, you can do that. So choose a language in which you are that much comfortable, right? Now what is the next thing? As I said before, set. Learn sets. Set basically are very important. In a single, since I use Python, I'll just tell you, a prime Fibonacci, you have to remove all the repeated elements. So what I did, I just, suppose I have stored the value in a list. Okay, so what I did, that list, and inside of bracket, I wrote set outside of it, and then again I wrote list. And in that simple, in that 3 words, I removed all my repeated elements. So that is why you just learn data structure, sorry, to know what benefit you can get, because you don't need to make that whole logic that is already made. Okay, so what will the next and the last one? If you are in Python, list. If you are in Java, array. If you are in C++, vector. If you are in C, array. By the way, who uses C? I don't use C. Well, C is fast, but I don't use C, because you have to make everything. I'm sorry those who use C, but I don't like C. Actually I loved C, but now I don't. Okay, sorry. Now these are the data structures that you must learn. Now, sieve of Eratosthenes, it's very important. Sieve of Eratosthenes. There are many different sieves available. There is even a modified sieve of Eratosthenes available. Don't go into that much depth, but learn sieve of Eratosthenes. It's very, very simple. Its complexity is very, very low. Sieve of Eratosthenes, basically it works. You can find a list of prime you can find all the prime numbers between a certain range. That is sieve of Eratosthenes, and that also in a minimum time complexity. Look into it, it's very easy to. If you don't know it, if you want me to make a video on it, mention them in the comment section. Okay, I'll do it. All right, what is next? All right, I asked you to study about probability, right? So when you are studying probability, how much? So let's study probability of basically choosing something. You have to choose something from, suppose you have to choose x items from y given items. You at least need to know, you have at least need to have that much of knowledge of probability if you want to solve probability question. Okay, so choose, basically choose x from y, that sort of question, right? And also look into the addition and multiplication rule of probability. It's very important when you add certain events, when you multiply them. If an event is happening in the cases of, or if one event is dependent on another event, then it's multiplication rule. If other events, the events are free from each other, they are not bounded by each other, then it's an add. Okay, so you need to study probability. Now I mentioned range, sir, before, range research, right? This, so It's basically when you're searching an element between a list of elements, between an array. Suppose you are searching five in a pool of array. Okay, so for that, please study these things. Binary search, very important, and we also have a ternary search. The complexity of a binary search is, I believe, log 2n, right? Then the complexity of ternary search is log 3n, even more less than ternary binary, sorry, because binary breaks it into two parts, ternary breaks it into three parts. So look into it, study it. These are not very large topic, just 10 to 15 minutes, please give it. Okay, now Pascal's triangle. Any NCR question, use Pascal's triangle. If a value is greater than that, if your constraints are very high, then instead of calculating factorial again and again, use Pascal's triangle. In Pascal's triangle, you can easily make a 2D matrix, and after that, you just have to pass your n as a row and r as a column, and boom, you have your NCR. Okay. So by the way, I think I'm going to make a Pascal's triangle. Someone actually asked me to make a video on Pascal's triangle, so I think I'll make a video on it, but I think I'll make it after a few days. So it's on you, either wait or just start studying. And one more thing, distance formula, study it. Distance formula, right? What distance formula? In a Cartesian plane, I'm not asking you about distance is equal to speed into velocity, not that. Cartesian plane, you have, suppose you might encounter a question where you have coordinates, right? There was a question named as collision course, if I'm right, and you had to find uh, the distance between two coordinates, and that was one part of question. So that's very important. Distance formula is like, I hope you have studied 10th math. You have already studied that then. So two coordinates have value x1 y1 and x2 y2, and you have to find distance. It's very simple. Take a square root, and apply it on x2 minus x1 power whole square, sorry, and y2 minus y1 whole square, and that is a distance formula. But just look into it. I have already told you. Just take a look, because every time you far sorry because every time you encounter a question with coordinates, you are needed to use distance formula. Okay, all right. Now, very important part, don't get intimidated. Okay, why? Question might appear very hard than they actually are. Okay, a question looks very hard. They question will be very long, question will be very lengthy, and they'll have such high complexity words that you will think that no, I can't do this, it's very hard. But trust me, those are the easiest of bunch. The question which actually seems simple, it's really hard. But those that seem complicated, they are really simple. Okay, I'll give you a few examples that we have solved recently. I'll tell you about them. Okay, so question might appear hard but aren't. All right, now what is the other thing? Sorry. Okay, we had a question of, I think we had a question of collision course. We had a question of, like, lifeguard problem, different problems. When you read them, they were like super intimidating. Like, what is this? What the hell are they asking? But the question are really easy. Okay, the question might look like that it's a question of tree or graph, but trust me, it isn't. Okay, so read the question very carefully. Have that presence of mind, because that is going to be the determining factor. Okay, and one more thing. I've already told you that a question of DP coming in the first round, it's highly unlikely. So it might look like a question of DP. It looks like a question of DP, but it isn't. Okay, you can solve any question which looks like a question of DP is, you know you simply apply a greedy approach. What is greedy approach? How to apply greedy approach? I hope you have an idea. Greedy approach is when you, instead of ADP is basically when you are trying to find all the possibilities and then find the best one. But greedy approach is when you think that this will be the best and you are not sure, but you just check it, and somehow that turns out to be true. That is greedy approach. And how to calculate greedy approach? It's very simple. suppose you have an array, then sort the array, maybe sum the array, and after that you'll see that solution will will come up to you. How? Because you'll see some patterns. As I mentioned before, presence of mind is really important. Keep looking on the question again and again. Okay, don't stop. Solution will come up. Don't get fed up. That's very important. So greedy approach question might come. Please look into it. Now, very important thing, plagiarism, right? Do not cheat. I'm telling you, don't cheat. Some might be lucky enough to get away with cheating, but please, I don't think you are from that lucky bunch. Otherwise, you already might have won a lottery ticket. Okay, so basically, try to come up with the logic yourself. Why I'm saying this? Try to come up because your logic might not be different from other, but how you approach it, okay, how you go through it, it's very really important. So try to come up try to come with logic. Sorry, try to come up, right? Come up with logic yourself. Take 30 minutes. Keep looking at the question again and again. Think that what I can do, what I can do, what I can do. And after that, if you are not able to, solve it after 30 minutes, move on. But please don't ask and don't cheat because, you know, Codevita, Codevita actually, takes pride on its plagiarism detector. They have so much confidence in it that they have actually provided you with a box where you can actually write the reference from where you have copied the code. And even when I was, when I studied, then I know that my seniors, everyone just failed because of plagiarism. Everyone says that I did my code, but because of plagiarism detection, I failed. Why? Because I showed my code to someone else. So don't try to copy someone else's code, but please try to come up with the solution yourself. And there is something that they actually, if they have so much confidence in their plagiarism detector, then they actually have a different impaneled team for this. So please, let's just give them the benefit of the doubt and don't copy, don't cheat. Okay, now students, everyone is different, we know, right? Every student is different. We have two type of students, either they are weak or they are strong. Let's be frank. You only know that which kind of category you come. I don't know, I have never met you. Okay, so let me tell you some let me help you actually categorize. If you are weak, then most of you are, basically most of you have been forced into btech, into cs, and even now you don't have a lot of idea in coding, you don't have a lot of practice, you have different passions, you only have a basic coding knowledge. And just don't worry, because I have many friends like you and I am here to help you. If you have any doubt, ask them in the comment section of whichever video it is. I'll try to answer all of them. I do try to, and I will try to. Okay, so, and please don't focus on my grammar, it's not very good. Okay, so for the weak students, what should be our focus? Mainly focus on the first three students, sorry, first three questions. Why? Our aim, what is our aim? Our aim is to qualify for the second round. Because after that we'll practice even more. Right now our aim should be to qualify this round. And how? Don't look at don't try to solve very hard questions, look at the easy ones. We'll solve them and then we'll cross it. Okay, uh, and it must be a given that you are able to solve the first question. I've already said that if you are able to solve one question, then your chances of passing the first round, it moves up to directly 80%. So keep on trying and solve those questions. Okay, our main focus is that we'll try to solve the simpler questions. That is going to be our aim. Simpler questions, right? We are I know you have different passions, because I if you are even weak by the fourth year, then this is not your main hobby, main focus, main passion. So try to keep this job as your backup option, and let's work hard. And let me remind you again, I am here to help you. If you have any doubt, please ask them in the comment section, and I promise I'll try to answer as much of the question as I can. All right, already it's corona, I'm very bored, So why not help you? Now, what about the strong students? These are those students who have years of practice in coding, right? You have a lot of practice in coding. You have all the concept revised. You have DP, recursion, graph. You have all of those on your tip of your fingers. Okay. You are right now blooming with confidence. Don't get overconfident. Please don't. Sorry. The higher level of overconfidence you have, the more easier it is to break you. Just assume that you are trying to solve the code questions, and if by any luck of chance, okay, might be a fault or something else, but you are not able to solve first question, then your confidence it's just break through the ground, and you might even not able to solve those questions which you already know. So please keep it in mind that you are good, but you are not the best yet, and you have to keep working hard on it. All right. So what should be the goal of a strong student? The goal of a strong student is to improve our ranking. You need CodeBeta actually ranks you. So our goal is to solve as many questions as we can in as little time as we can, and we will improve our ranking. That should be our main focus, because you are already strong, you know everything. So why don't we try to improve it? Why don't we try to, and this is for all the students, since we have been groomed from our childhood to get a job, and even if you don't want this job, even if you have already some other options, why don't we just show our parents that for the D-Day that you have prepared us for, I did it, I got this job. So we will crack the code vita. That is our aim. Okay. And we will, as for strong students, we'll solve all questions. The questions will be easy in the first round. Let's do it, right? Okay, I only had this much point, but let me tell you about something else. I am thankful to all my awesome viewers. Why? Because I was actually shocked when, you know, everyone keeps on commenting in different way. Some even pointed out the mistakes that I made in my video, and you know, some they didn't get shy. They just ask questions, and some people even show me different approaches, and I'm really blessed to have such awesome viewers. In Korean, the word for awesome is debug. So debug, right? So I'm blessed to have such debug viewers. Okay, and I'll try to upload my videos daily on CodeVita, whether mostly previous year questions. And once they are over, I'll try to upload other questions, and I am going to upload daily. So don't be afraid. And if you have any questions, please ask me, because I had doubts and no one was there to clear it. But I am there for you, and ask them. I'll help you. I'll answer as many questions as I can. And that is all I had. So if you have any questions, ask them in the comment section, and let's crack code Vita. That's all. Thank you for watching. Let's work hard.